So after 4 years,
25 states,
and one couch through a window.
Hey!
All right, I'm gonna hand it to
better
you.
fit.
It's gonna fit.
We've come to the hard conclusion.
That it's time to sell our RV. Today we're sharing the 3 reasons we're selling our RV.
And what's next for us once we let go of our fifth wheel. It's time to let go and get going.
Now don't get us wrong, there's a ton of features we love about our RV. Here's a few.
So many windows, the wraparound windows.
I like that it's big and we have a lot of sleeping space because I usually am all over the place when I'm sleeping.
I love the full body paint.
Love the taco bar.
I also like that I can turn this light on and off.
Slide toppers.
I like the Nintendo Switch.
The painted cabinets.
8K axles with disc brakes.
I like the televator.
The open shelving.
Dual pane windows.
Corn dog.
However, the upgrades aren't what makes it hard for us to let go of this RV. It's the places we've been.
One of my favorite places we've ever stayed in this RV is at Nomad View outside of Badlands National Park. We kind of parked in this little peninsula, and throughout all the windows, it looks like we're floating over the Badlands.
Probably my favorite spot was when we boondocked at Upper Teton View at Grand Teton National Parks, which is probably our favorite mountain range. It's this experience of I've got my coffee, I look around, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the Teton Mountains are wrapping around my RV.
Something that stands out in my mind is when we loaded this RV onto a ferry to go to Ocracoke Island. It's never a bad idea to take your home on a ferry. That's what I say.
I'm not gonna say never.
We're on a boat.
We are on a boat.
Yeah, here's the Coast Guard over here. I'm not sure what's going on exactly, but
This is not going. Is that the Coast Guard?
Yeah, we're grounded.
What's that mean?
The boat's stuck.
Oh my.
I don't know what the weight limit was, but it felt not good. And speaking of adventurous and nail biting, $1 Million Highway, if you know about it in Colorado, even taking that in a car is stressful. We took this RV through $1 Million Highway, and yeah, it was a nail biting experience, but it was beautiful, it was epic, and it was just an incredible memory and one of the honestly favorite places we've driven or taken this RV.
I love taking this RV and being at the balloon fiesta because I like sitting on top of the RV and watching the balloons glow.
JJ, how many balloons do you see?
That's hot fire, Daddy.
They have hot fire in the balloons? This guy's coming in hot.
Baby one and the daddy one. And when we go there, it just feels so special. When we eat donuts and watch them glow in the sky. Like when you eat your sons.
Yeah.
And meeting a lot of new people is really fun as well.
So we've taken this everywhere from the mountains all the way down to the Keys. I mean, all over the US. It's been an incredible home, but we do feel like it's time to sell, and we're gonna share with you the 3 reasons we're ready to sell. Reason number 1 is life is changing. Now, change is hard. Whether you change while you're living in a house or you're renting an apartment or you live in an RV, any sort of change is difficult, but it is a little different with the RV compared to maybe change we experienced in a house before this, because the RV almost feels like part of the family. Like it's been to so many different places, whereas when we had a house, it's like we still went to places, but your house is just kind of there, just like that loving family member waiting to embrace you when you come home. The RV is like, it's going through it with you. I mean, we're getting stuck in this thing.
Hold on. Oh my word. Less junk, more trenches.
We're taking narrow roads, having a hard time getting into campsites. I mean, it's been through it with us. We almost feel bad, I think, when our life changes to the point where we're like, oh, we love you, RV, but we need to kind of move on. You know, it's not you, it's me, right?
When we got this RV, JJ was 1 and Hensley was 6, and that
So like this right behind us.
Yes.
So this counter, when we bought this RV, JJ's head was below this counter. And then eventually we had to get some guards here to protect him for this counter, and now he's above the counter.
when we bought this, he was just like toddling under it, and we're like, wow, he's
Toddling, is that a word?
toddling, yeah. And we're like, he's gonna hit his head soon. He's gonna grow enough that he's gonna hit his head. You know, Christmases in the RV.
Easy, JJ. Snow. Look at the snow, baby. Wow.
Yeah. Eat.
Eat it.
Eat. Eat.
just sitting at our kitchen table and enjoying breakfast and eating pancakes together and cuddling on the couch, because that's one of our morning routines is we'll sit on the couch and have our mornings when the kids wake up.
I think for me, the memories are related more to violence. And so I'm like wrestling the kids on our king bed in the bedroom, you know, with us, or me chasing the kids.
They love this. You act like you're like,
So, like,
our kids love wrestling on the bed.
If this was like a NASCAR track, I've chased the kids around this island so many times. When we go through this life change, you know, we think of these things, we see these things, we experience these things. I also asked Hensley, why is change hard, or what might you miss, you know, when we sell this RV?
The hardest part for me is probably going to be when I get out of my bed for the very last time. All my pictures and lights and bedding and stuffed animals are gone, and this is the very last time they'll see it. Just remembering that might even make me cry, but it's really hard to remember all my memories are forever gone.
It's physically going to have a new home, but it's not going to be gone. We've always got the memories. We got this video, right?
Yeah.
Part of the reason change is so tough in an RV is because when we had changes in a house, we had this conversation. Like, we had a house, we had a child, and we're like, oh, well, we'll just put an addition on the house. Or maybe you have a basement, and you're like, well, I'll finish out the basement. I've even seen people add maybe something over the garage or something. So you can build up, you can build out, you can build under. In an RV, it's like, yeah, you know, there's really not too much you can do. You know, you can maybe convert, I don't know, throw a bunk bed maybe in somewhere weird or something like that. Definitely with kids there's changes, but I will say we've even seen people, something as small as even having like a cat or a dog, or maybe you have a puppy and the puppy gets bigger as you're on the road. It's amazing how big of an impact what seems like a small change can have on you in an RV. Even like who knows, even maybe like a goldfish or something. It's just, it
maybe
doesn't.
Not a goldfish. I don't know.
It would still require, you know,
I guess.
maybe. For us, it's that our kids have, you know, the kids grow. So when we bought this RV, Hensley could sit up in her bed. Show me, sit up in your bed now. So change is magnified in an RV.
I think you have to think too, we've been on the road 9 years. So I think most people don't stay full-time past the length that we've stayed full-time.
Especially with kids.
So
like
we spent 3 years in an Airstream. And I think most people would have transitioned to a house after they had another child.
And we debated it.
Yeah, but at the same, we're like, we love the RV life. Let's just transition our RV. So to us, I think we've kept going. And the reason we've been able to keep going is we keep moving with the changes that are happening in our lives. And we're not scared to make those changes.
Which kind of brings about the question, like, is there such a thing as a perfect RV?
That's different for everybody, but we have to start somewhere. So I think that perfect RV is just like, what gets us out making memories as a family? What gets us out into nature? Sometimes you just got to start with what you got, and that's the perfect RV.
So reason number 2 that we're selling our RV, our destinations and our pace are changing. And if you followed our channel, you know that our destinations and pace have been changing for 9+ years. Destination obviously is like where we're going in the US or where we're traveling to. Pace is like, how long do we stay in one location? For some of you, you know, you might be thinking, well, I want to stay in a location for 3 nights or maybe 3 weeks or 3 months. There's no wrong way to do that.
When we first hit the road, we were trying to figure that pace out, like what worked for us. I think we found our sweet spot in the Airstream, but at that time, we were at an adventurous stage of our life. Nathan and I our business was not what it is now, of like the amount of time we had to put in that. Hensley was just one, and we weren't having to do any type of homeschool. So we were just really living this fast-paced, adventurous style of life in an RV, and the Airstream was very fit for that because we could move quickly. But then once JJ came along and we doubled the amount of kids, and like homeschooling has kind of, you know, been more time consuming in our life. And now Hensley's in 5th grade and JJ's in kindergarten, which is crazy, but it has made us have to slow down. We can't live as fast as we were. And so because of that, we had to move for something, that vessel and that RV that kind of fit that mold of slowing down a little bit.
Let me show you what we mean with the drawing. So we're gonna have 2 different axes. You got I think it's called the y-axis, the up and down. This is like how fast we're gonna travel, what our pace is gonna be. 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, like how often we're gonna move. And at the bottom is like and this is our journey. This is from year to year what it looked like for us. Year 1, year 2, year 3, all the way up to, I'm just going to put year 10. We're like 9.5 in. When you look at the length of our RV, it's gone over the time based on the changes we've had in our life, which was number one, the reason. We've gone from like a 30-foot RV to like a 40-foot RV. And technically the next one we're looking at is going to be even bigger. So that RV has changed over time. However, you'll see that as we've gone from moving every 2 days to moving every 1 week or 2 weeks, like we get this itch where we want to go back to like trying to move fast.
That's our favorite style of travel.
It is.
We really enjoy that fast-paced, adventurous style of travel, but we just can't live that 365 days a year.
And so that's what we've learned is we really want that, but we can't live that. And so we like scratch that itch and then we come back and kind of go back to our big RV and we scratch it and come back to the big RV. And so what we've learned over the last year or two is we love renting, buying and reselling, or like we partnered with Grand Design with a Lineage and took that for a route. Finding ways to where we can scratch that itch with a 24-foot RV really works better than us trying to cram our family into a 30-foot RV
all year,
all year long. I think this wasn't quite as normal maybe a couple of years ago, but even on YouTube and some of our friends, we're starting to see more and more people that live in RVs. Some of them, they buy a van on the side. So we know people that bought a boat on the side. We know people that have bought 24-foot RVs on the side, because it's the same, what I'm showing this graph is what's happening. They want to go to these adventurous places, but they want the living space, but they're not quite there where they want a house.
Yeah.
So it's like they love their house moving, but sometimes they want to move a little faster. And so that's changed for us. We've just fully embraced what we need to live in as a big RV.
That's where we're at in life.
We're at big RV life, and that's okay. And we're going to scratch that itch by getting a small RV here and there and trying to scratch that itch as we go along.
In the RV life, there are so many moving parts. So as many of those decisions and things that we can eliminate, the easier this lifestyle is. So I'm like, hey, Nathan, we're not plugged into power. I just need to know, can I use the microwave? Can I make my coffee? Can I curl my hair? So all those things we can do when we're plugged in, we can keep living our life and do those things even when we're not plugged in.
And the way we do this is with our Battleborn lithium batteries. So inside of our RV, we had 800 amp hours of Battleborn lithium batteries installed, along with 1280 watts of solar on the roof. So these drop-in batteries are the same size as the lead acid batteries we had in here, except they're half the weight, they're up to 3 times more power, they charge faster, and there's like no maintenance with them. So technically, they're even safer. There are lots of reasons to have lithium batteries installed. Maybe it's like us, you do it for convenience. Maybe you do it because you want to have the safety factor or like independence or reliability factor. Maybe you just want to like know that if the power goes off in the campground, you can just keep on going. And we recommend Battleborn because over the years, we've heard of just story after story about fantastic customer support of how they call in with issues with their solar system. And Battleborn knows enough to know not just about the batteries, they understand how the entire system works, so they can help you work through that.
So Nathan geeks out about all the technical aspects. I just want it to take me to beautiful places, and I want to live my life. And it has absolutely done that for our family. We have been to incredible places all over the country that boondocking and being unplugged has allowed us to do.
For us, I don't know that we'll ever have an RV without lithium batteries because they've just made this life so much easier for us.
I remember when we did this install and JJ was like a baby crawling around in here, and it is so cute. I miss that.
And last but not least, reason number 3 that we're selling our RV is that the change barrier is lower when you're moving from an RV to an RV. So if you're moving from a house to a house, you're looking at, you gotta really research and pay attention to, are there any loud noises in the area? Are you next to a fire station, a train track, a shooting range?
Next to a hospital, you hear the ambulances all the time. Like there's just...
You gotta pay attention to the neighbors, you gotta pay attention to the school zone if you've got kids. The whole process of buying a house, you know, you get a realtor and you're going from house to house to house and you're driving physically from place to place. You've gotta, you put down the down payment, you gotta wait 30 plus days to close. And then the moving process too, typically you have to rent maybe a U-Haul or get a bunch of friends with trucks. You're moving large, you're moving refrigerator and couches and bed frames and just huge things from point A to point B versus, and we've done this quite a bit at this point, versus if you're moving from RV to RV, you get the second RV, you pull it up next to the first RV, and you start moving, for the most part, small, easy to carry items like 20 feet.
Nathan said my new blender couldn't go with it.
What we literally have a conga line of stuff here. What have you got?
I got my toys.
We can move in and move out fairly quickly. We can do it in a day or two. Also, I kind of looking forward to the moving process because when we do it more often, I feel like it makes us like eliminate and keep things down. Even when we lived in our house, we'd only lived in our house for 3 years. I was amazed how much we had accumulated in just those 3 years of stored in closets in the basement and just things everywhere. But I kind of enjoy that moving process because it's just like a constant downsizing and reorganization process. I've caught myself even lately being like, I'll deal with that when we move. Like, I'm looking forward to moving because we
How often are you saying that?
Pretty often these days. But it's just one of those things I'm excited about, getting reorganized and downsizing, you know, all of our things, because once you have to move it, it makes you like think about it a little bit more than you're just storing it.
So what's coming for us? What's next? Well, if you haven't seen the video, we are building an RV. No, not physically getting on a hammer and whatever else is required to build an RV. But we are partnering with Grand Design to not just be there and be a part of it and watch, but we've taken years of feedback from you, and we've taken about 2 years of our time to draw from the ground up. What does this RV look like for us? If we're selling our old RV and we're going to another, we want it to be worth it. We want it to be, quote, perfect for where we're at right now. And so that's what's next. Very soon, you've seen a partial reveal of some of the things going on behind the scenes in the factory. And we're hoping to reveal more of this RV and some of the things that we are super excited about that are coming up. So if you are interested in buying this RV right behind us, it is for sale. We're pricing it. I went through and added up all the upgrades we put on this, and I was shocked. I think I'm still adding them up. It's over $60,000 in upgrades. I think it may well be over $70,000 in upgrades if you went out and tried to get these upgrades.
We've put a lot of love into this RV. Like, for the past 4 years, we've really poured into it and tried to make it a home and tried to like put those upgrades that just make it so easy for travel, easy for everyday life.
We've done everything we can to make this feel like a home, even though it's on wheels and even though it moves around. It's been awesome for us, but as we've mentioned with our 3 reasons, it's time for a change for us to move on to the next RV. So this one's for sale. If you want to check it out, lessjunkmorejourney.com/378MBS.
As sad as we are to see it go, we're just so excited for the next adventure for this RV and the people that are going to love it and get to make some amazing memories like we have through this RV being their vessel. It's very exciting.
We'll have a link on the screen. We'll have a link in the description. Then I'll also have a QR code. You can actually scan that QR code and go right there and check that out if you want to check it out too. In the meantime, if you're looking for something to watch, we're going to link to when we bought this RV, took it home. Oh my goodness, what an experience. You know, Hensley was honestly shocked that this was her home. You can check that video out here or in the description below. Well, that is our journey for this week. Until next week, we'll catch you guys later.